I know for sure I have to say this, that I definitely got some handhelds on deck. And sometimes when I do certain things, I do videos and everything else, I take my time on them. I'm not gonna lie, it's like playing a game. When I'm playing a serious game, I will stick with that game until I end it. I there's so many other games that comes out. Yes, I end up falling into it and I end up getting it and comping it and all kind of good stuff. I literally take my time on it. I think my last game I played was Black Myth Wukong. I was on that game for, oh my goodness, I don't know how many months. Just think of the video that I had popped off of just me just starting the game. I don't know if I did a live stream or something like that, but it was a long time ago. And I took my time on that game. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting up there playing the game like every night, every minute, every second and on it and stuff like that. No, I had other things to do. I have content, you have the, the kiddos and everything else. I have a lot of other stuff to do. So when I do have the time to actually be able to sit down and play games, that's what it comes in at. Now, reason why I'm saying this because 4 months ago, and I just looked at this, 4 months ago, I did a video unboxing just a beginning setup of the Retroid Pocket 5. And the only thing that I did on here was put on PS Vita, and I was testing that out. That was about basically like 4 months ago, or almost 5, and you want to say that much. And I haven't really did anything to it. I just put that on, playing some games. Other handhelds came, and I wanted to try that out. Then at the same time, the Windows-based handhelds like the Rock Ally, with Bazite and stuff like that. I just got into those too as well. And I was playing other games. That's not including I was playing serious games like Black Myth Wukong on the PS5 and stuff like that. So now I picked this up and I realized how many months since it's been since I picked this up. Now it's time for me to dig in and set this thing up. Now I'm gonna go a little bit ahead of the game because usually when I do the whole formatting of the SD card and stuff like that. So, but I'll explain as I get along the way. But it's time for me to set this thing up. All right, let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. One thing I do love about getting a handheld is when it has no SD card on it. To me, it's like an empty canvas and you get to create it as a work of art on you have your own library of games, you have your ideas of where you want to do your backgrounds, you select your own emulators that you want, you do the testing and everything else, and then you have your limitations because you see how much can you throw at it and then you stop. And it's so fascinating to not only do something of your own, and then not only that, of the ideas from other people, and then at the same time comparison to other people, and being able for everybody to communicate to where they have their ideas and you get to use those and you put it all together, and it's just like, everybody collabs. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. And from the backgrounds to how people utilize their handhelds, like let me know in the comments, do you watch movies on your handheld, or do you listen to music on your handheld? You got some of your favorite tracks that you like listening to, just like Spotify and everything else, and just being able to do that. It's just like, oh, there's people out there use their handheld as another controller for one of their devices or something like that. People have you guys out there that's into this stuff, that's into this hobby, it is so for real, so amazing. You guys let me know what type of ideas you guys come up with. And even also some of the people that's new to it, I'm glad you're here, because that way we can all share our ideas. And I want to hear your ideas of what you might want to do with your handheld. Even if you don't have this one, what other handhelds you have? I mean, it doesn't matter. You into the hobby, and that's what's cool. Just want to let you know that I'm going to be doing some things up on this handheld. There's plenty of videos out there of how to do certain things. I do make mistakes, so that's why I don't want to call it as a how-to video. So if you guys want to follow along, it's up to you, but I will give a few tips along the way. Like when you get emulation station or ESDE, make sure that, because what I'm using a previous information from another SD card from another handheld that I had, and I just basically copied everything over. So make sure, don't forget, make a file that says ESDE on the SD card and ROMs on the SD card. Okay, I did videos about that. Now what you see right here, I'm just hooking myself up with a theme. And also don't forget to, when you about to go ahead and do your scrapers, don't forget to sign in or sign up for Screen Scraper. And I have talked about that in previous videos too as well. Now as I'm going through this, you can see all the consoles that I do have up on here. But if I select the game, check this out. It does not work because I just now getting started on this handheld. So I need to go back and try to get Retroid. Let's go back, let's go to the website and let's get that. Now I'm not going to get mine from the Play Store. I'm actually going to go to the website on here and I'm going to download it from there. As you can see, there's still a selection that I can use the Play Store to download this particular setup, but I'm not. I'm actually going to go ahead and get the APK file because usually what I hear is that it be the most updated version of it. Okay, I'm going to get this one, and always enable your device to be able to download unknown apps so that way you can be able to install it. I ain't going to go through the whole steps of how I'm setting up Retroid because there's plenty of videos out there how to set up Retroid. So but I'm just gonna let you know that by me setting this up, that like really just fixed like half of the emulators that's on Emulation Station to play my games. I got most of the setups already set up. I mean, my save states, loads, all the stuff that I need to do as far as like how I want it. So I'm gonna go back, we're gonna test out a game, but I do want to get rid of the on-screen controls. Okay, so we're gonna go to settings, input device setting, and then scroll down until you're gonna see enable touch overlay. You're gonna toggle that off. It's gonna ask you a question, then toggle it off, and then you can go back. You're good. Let's go to a game. As of right now, all the lower end systems is all set up. Nintendo, Super, Sega Master System, Sega CD, TurboGrafx 16 CD, all that stuff is already set up and the BIOS is in the correct places. Now let's go ahead and move on to something a little bit more tougher. Okay, and at this point we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna plug this into a capture device. But before we do that, let's do a couple little bit of change. Let me script this down and let's go ahead and hook up the light back on. Okay, and I also want to change the control pad. If you push this and push it again, I can change it to Xbox. Now, just to make sure, I want to go ahead and go to settings and I want to go ahead and check it. So once you get to settings, you're gonna scroll down till you get to handheld settings, then click on that. Once you click on that, now you get to make some decisions around here if you want to change some certain things on here. There's a few setups, okay? But what's important for me, I'm gonna go ahead and change. I'm gonna select input and I want to just check and make sure that it's on the Xbox. Okay, I just want to double check because just in case if it switches up or something like that. All right, once that's done, now let's go to our capture device. At this point, I'm probably going to pretty much show more gameplay than advice. Okay, now what I'm going to do, we're going to start off with Citra. I'm not going to dig in too much, but I just want to give a few tips. Make sure you set up your controller. I wanted to more show you more of how this looks on the screen and how everything looks as the gameplay. I did a few changes, but I didn't do too much. I bumped this up just a little bit, but nothing pretty major, nothing like real crazy, but the gameplay is really good. It works out really well. More when it comes down to this, like PS2, I kind of was experimenting with this with PS2. I was just been hearing a lot of things that PS2, like sometimes it's just not, it doesn't play like all the games. And I know there's a Linux side to this whole situation. I wanted to experiment with a couple of settings. I ain't gonna show what I did, but I just want to show you kind of like some gameplay of what I did and just show you kind of. And I bumped a few things up, and also I was just like tampering with it so you can see how it is as you playing a little bit, and then what happens is it'll go a little bit more fast. But I'm kind of just messing with some settings and kind of experimenting and seeing if I can get like a better gameplay out of this when it comes down to it, to where it's just more comfortable. It's just going to take a bit more practice for me to kind of tamper tinker with some things. And if you guys got some tips, let me know in the comments what's your best settings when it comes down to it, when it comes down to this device and gameplay. Okay, now next I'm gonna go ahead. This is right here is Dolphin. So just like I said, I'm just looking for my ROMs. I'm still setting this thing up, and sometimes when it comes down to setting these handhelds up, it could take a while. I mean, the way that you can have it to where it's just super comfortable for yourself. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bump this up just a little bit. I'm gonna bump up the resolution so that way you guys can see. And I'm just setting up my controller right here. But here's some gameplay of everything. And I think and if I'm not mistaken, I think I bumped this up to like about about 3x resolution a little bit. And give me some advice if you guys think that I should just bump it up all the way up and just seeing what happens, and seeing if there's probably like you know, saying what you guys experiment with these emulations and, you know, saying emulators and stuff like that. Also, I wanted to make sure that some of the as I'm scraping right here, I wanted to make sure some of like the lesser consoles are playing pretty well. So this is right here. This just takes it back to like Atari 5200. Of course, some people don't show off Atari too much, and I wanted to kind of bring that back. I wanted to kind of show some gameplay of the Atari, and because we don't get too much love for the Atari, we don't give Atari enough love. So to Ref 16, me, I like to change like the button patterns when it comes out to these lesser systems like this. Jetwave just more comfortable for me. The Retroid Pocket 5, one thing I like about it, that the fact is that the position of the analog and the t-pad. I know a lot of people be complaining about it, but I usually like to use the t-pad a lot, especially for the lesser systems. That's just me. But like some of the more like tougher systems out there, then I really would like go with the analog. And I know the position of the analog stick is like a little bit more, probably like a little bit more uncomfortable for people. I don't really mess with it like as much. I just wanted to kind of like show you guys of the gameplay and stuff. But I usually just use a t-pad when I'm just, because I like to play like the more of the like the older school consoles. So I bumped this up. This one's PS1. It just looks amazing. And I don't really like to go all the way up and bump it all the way up to like 5-6x. I really don't really need that. I feel like the fact is that a few just bumping up just a little bit gives a really clear picture of the games that, you know, saying that you want to play, that, or what I want to play at this point. This is PSP right here, and it just looks amazing. The way I see it, you got the handheld, hook it up for yourself for fun. And what I mean by that, there's the suggestions, there's the tips out there, there's the how-to videos out there, then there's you. What consoles and what systems you like to play, and especially the retro heads. If you love playing those old school games, that's what matters. I mean, especially on a screen like this, and just gorgeous. I ain't trying to sell it because I ain't sponsored by nobody, but I'm just letting you know, with these newer systems that be popping, oh my goodness, this just looks amazing. One more thing I wanted to say before I hop out of here, here's just another tip of advice that I need to like keep up with myself, is when you set these devices up, especially emulation station, back this stuff up, back your information up. That way when you get to the next handheld, all you got to do is just add on to it, especially if you have like your SD card is like 512 or a terabyte and stuff like that. That way you can add on to it, because one thing I don't do when I be getting these handhelds, I do not like, I set it up, but I don't back up how I had my previous setup when it comes down to my other handheld. And this is what I'm really trying to do now, is to make things just consistent when it comes down to setting my devices up. Because when I get another handheld, to me it's just like another adventure that I just start setting things up and even showing you guys, and that way we can all just like help each other out. That's the reason why with this particular video, this is just more of like tips and some of the stuff, and then also getting feedback from you guys and just saying, hey, try this out, try this console out, or try these settings out. This might help enhance your gameplay, or this might help enhance like the frames or the resolution and stuff like that. So, and that's what I wanted to do for this particular video. It's kind of was just like, hey, this is my setup, and what are your suggestions on just like, you know, a better setup. All right, you guys, if you guys made it this far, I truly appreciate it. All right, and from gamer to gamer, thanks for watching.